5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
It's one of those days where I have nothing planned, so we're just gonna have to waffle and see how it goes. I'm loud again. Yesterday I was very quiet. Yesterday, when I say yesterday, it was the early hours of today. And I'm already doing another one because I'm about to leave for work. And I'm nervous. By the way, welcome back. Welcome back. Pod a day. You know, where a pod a day keeps Doctor away. You know, 117. I want to say. Here we are, man. Yeah, I got work. Look, why would I be nervous? It's Chelsea again. It's at Chelsea, and Real Madrid is the team we shall play. And like, we're going out realistically. We're going out. If I had to give a prediction, I'd say we lose like 1-0 or we draw like 1-1. Like, I think we're going to go out there and I think we're going to put in a good performance. I think the fans are going to be so up for it. Like, the atmosphere in Stamford Bridge can be electric. It can be so good. The annoying part is the stadium is not built in a way for great atmosphere. Well, it's got a lot of things going for it actually in terms of good atmosphere. Like how close the fans are to the pitch is a big deal. And I think it's not something you get with newer stadiums. It's just I don't really want a newer one because it'll still be like, it won't be far from the pitch, but it won't be built as close. And I like the intimacy of that. But there's a lot of hospitality seating. And I work in hospitality, right? And the amount of people who are there who aren't Chelsea fans, who are just like, because people think, right, oh, the problem is a bunch of international Chelsea fans. It needs to be fans from like the local area and stuff like that. It's not even that. It's not even like, oh, fans from like Japan or fans from Australia coming to see a game, because like they would be up for it. They would at least be fans. It's like just like random people from around the world, and you ask them, do you support Chelsea? And they're like, no, not really. I just like, going to different games and stuff. It's like they're just rich people basically, and like that's the people who can afford to consistently go and sit in those hospitality seats. And there's so much of the seating in the ground, which is technically hospitality seating. Like the whole top of the West Stand seats are pretty expensive. It's not quite hospitality, but it's like they're more expensive. The whole Westview part, like the East Stand middle section. Then you got like the South Stand, which is like a really small stand. So you're kind of just left with like that would be the North Stand, like the Matthew Harden end, which is like a proper stand. It's quite big. It's just Chelsea fans, and then they can create the most atmosphere because like on either side, like of the pitch, you'll probably have a lot of families and stuff. So basically, it's just like it's the stadium is less like about how it's built though. It's more just about like the distribution of like seats and like hospitality seating and things like that. This is an interesting chatter. Why am I talking about this? Oh, because I think the atmosphere is going to be great. Champions League nights, the atmosphere, is always good. And not even just Champions League nights. Certain big games where like there's just a buzz in the air, where we know that like the fans have to be up for it in order for them to get the result. Again, I'm sorry, I'm talking about football on a podcast that isn't a sports podcast, but it's on the mind, and I'm going, and I just hope for the best. Like, but realistically, I've been hoping for the best all season, and then you get like brought back down to earth, and it's no longer a point on getting brought down to earth. My feet are firmly on the ground. Don't worry, I'm being dragged down to the depths of hell at this point. But we'll see. Like, I can't really see a world in which we win, let alone win over both legs. Because even if we won like 1-0, 2-1, we got to win by 2 goals, right? If it was 3-1, then it'd be 3-3 over. We got to win by 3 goals. It's crazy. Like, I think best case scenario is you hope to score in the first half, then grab something in the second half, and then take it to extra time. But just like, it just feels like such an impossible feat to put that many past Real Madrid. But we'll hope for the best. I just hope for a great atmosphere. I hope for a good game where we're actually in it and we're battling. And it feels like from minute 1 to minute 90, it feels like we're still in it. I don't want it to be like, 55th minute and then basically the game's done. Like all hope is dead. Because if we go into this game and Real Madrid score first, it's just like, should we just go? Should we just pack up and leave? But yeah, man, it's like the last thing we have to hope for the season, kind of. Like, people have said that, like, this is the last thing we have to hope for this season, and it is realistically for our own achievements. But as soon as if we inevitably lose this game, all eyes are just going to look onto the Arsenal game and be like, oh, we have to, that's our last chance. We've got to beat Arsenal to try and stop them winning the league, and that's going to be like our last thing to look forward to. That's all we have. But yeah, so I'm doing it now because I get back at probably like midnight, and then I'm probably going to do like a match reaction for that on the Sporting channel. And to do a podcast after would just be... And it's like, I really wouldn't want to as well if it's like we lost like 4-0. Like, that would suck. It's just like, it's lovely living in the unknown. Like, where I'm sitting right now, it's a literal possibility that anything could happen. We could go out tonight and win 7-0. I could go and see the best game of my life, and it could be amazing, you know? But more likely, we're not. And we could lose 12. Like, we could. All of these roads are possible. We could walk down them all. But it's nice, even though it's like, oh, we could get smacked, we could do the smacking. It's nice to have the whole, like, you know, the not knowing, the hope. By, you know, this time tomorrow, there won't be hope. There will just be, you'll know your fate. And that's a scary thought, man. Don't like that. It would also be 4 losses out of 4 with Frank Lampard, which is not what you want. But yeah, I think after this Real Madrid game, we have... I'm not sure who we have next, because it's probably an away game. I only know the home games we have next. Maybe West Ham away? Maybe. I know we got City still to play. I know we got Arsenal still to play this season. I know we got Nottingham Forest still to play this season. So we got teams to play. Not many points. It's so crazy. Liverpool were like with us in the pits, and now they've just kind of ran away, and they're almost like they're basically 10 points clear of us now. Like, they're looking for European football. It's just like, we had a chance. There was a period in time where we could have still turned things around, and we just never took opportunities. And anyway. Has anything been happening around the gaff that isn't football related? Probably, but I saw Frank Ocean was at... and I'm probably going to name this about Frank Ocean, even though I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. But just because, like, I know it's better to put like that in the title than just talking more about football. But I saw Frank Ocean. Did he come out at Coachella? Like, did he come out for someone, or was he doing his own set or something? I'm not sure. But look, I like Frank Ocean. I only listened to them like within the last year. I can't even remember what they're called. To Blonde and Orange. Is it called? Is it really Blonde and Orange? I think so. I listen to them both. If I had to say which one I prefer out of those 2 albums, I would say, like Orange. I feel like it's something orange. It's not just orange, but I can't remember. The Orange one, like, it has more. It's gonna appeal more to the masses. That album, it's like got more digestible songs for like everyone. Whereas, you know what it is, right? Orange is like Avengers Infinity War. And what's the other one called? Blonde is like Bones and All. You know what I mean? Like, one is some indie little art house film. Maybe more critically acclaimed, you know, a better filmmaker. But questionable choices. What does this mean? What does that mean? This is a bit of a journey. Or the big fan favorite that's gonna make all the money, love to be on the massives, but the critics think it's just okay. You know, so I don't know which one I prefer. I honestly, I'd have to re-listen to them again. But like, Frank Ocean is so like, it's so crazy how you can like not do anything for like 6 years and still garner the same amount of hype around you. Like, there's like a fine line within famous people and types of people, right? Where like, there's like a threshold that you cross over. There's like, if you're just below the threshold, you've got to like post all the time. You've got to be big on like social media. You've got to always be showing your life. You've got to be like putting out snippets all the time just to stay in people's minds. You got to, and this is even when you're like really famous. But then there's like a certain threshold you cross over where it becomes the opposite. And it's like, the less people see of you, the more like conversation that you garner. And it's like, it's almost like if you don't have an Instagram, people just want to see you, so that people make fan accounts and stuff. And like, I'm not the real Frank Ocean. I'm just a fan account, and it's got like 1 million followers. It's like Frank Ocean walking to Walmart, and it's just like a picture of him taken by the paparazzi, and people are like invested in you so much. And then the second they hear a little snippet of music, they cream their undies, and it's just like, yeah, it's a fine line. It's like only a few people could probably do that. Like if Jack Harlow decides I want to delete Instagram and like only release an album every 6 years, it wouldn't work. But you know, Kanye West could do it. Frank Ocean. I don't know if Kid Cudi's close. I don't know if he. Well, for maybe Kid Cudi. But even he, I think he has too many albums. You kind of have to have like a almost small collection, because then you grow like this more cult following, or like this more people who are just fucking desperate for your stuff. I'd love a new Frank Ocean album. I don't know if we're close to getting one. I feel like no one I listen to has dropped an album in so long. Probably hasn't been that long. It's probably just about 9 months ago. But I just don't. I guess it's because I don't listen to many artists and stuff. But it just feels like it's been forever since I've like listened through to an album. I need like, is there like a website that like shows you albums that are being released or something, like, or a calendar? Because maybe there is albums I could check out that I want to see, but like I got a bunch of jazz albums saved at the moment because I feel like I like jazz. I'm not sure. Like when I was out in France, they would play jazz in the evening at the place I was working and have like random people just show up and they'd be playing it. And I was like, you know what? I actually quite like jazz music, right? I like rap songs that have like a jazz influence, or like soulful jazz samples or something, or just like straight jazz on its own or whatever. Like so many times I'll listen to a rap song and they'll have a sample they'll play at the beginning, and I'm like, I think I low-key just want to listen to this sample, and whatever that sample is, find that. And it's like, this is obviously some fucking sample from like the 60s, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. So I got a bunch of jazz albums saved. I got things like that. But I don't know, man. I kind of feel like listening to something current right now. Something that's like just dropped. But don't seem to be anything. I'll probably listen to the Dominic Fike album whenever that comes out. But no one else, like Brockhampton no longer exists. They were my main source of albums usually. And even still, I've just been re-listening to Ginger a lot recently. But yeah, I don't know. I probably just need to get out there more and find some more artists to listen to because I'm famished. I'm malnourished, and I'm hungry for more. Anyway, what time is it? It's 2:15. I actually need to leave. I need to leave, and coincidentally it lines up with me not having anything to say right now, but I do actually need to go. Wish us luck, would you, Chelsea? It's all we got, man. It's all we got. I'm fucking depressed. But yeah, I don't know. Today's wasn't anything special, but I just knew I had to. It's like I had to do it now. I had to do it now because I knew I couldn't do it later. So there wasn't much to talk about because I've literally just done one of these about 8 hours ago. But hey, man, you win some, you lose some. This was 117. Seeing 118.
Here with the kids, and they had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,